The Student Development Company is a non-profit organisation which provides career-related support to young people from the age of 16 to 24. And we target those who are from typically less privileged backgrounds, so the people who don't have the networks in place to kind of get ahead in relation to their careers. Hi, I'm Claudine Adeyemi. I'm a lawyer at Mishcon and I'm the founder of the Student Development Company, a non-profit, and Career Ear, which is a Q&A careers advice mobile app. I went to a state school, knew I wanted to be a lawyer from around the age of 11, and so have always kind of tried to do things that I think would get me there, and realised that there were certain skills that I had that would complement being a lawyer. Chose subjects that would be relevant to that, and because I was just really desperate to get into a law firm, I just chose to study law when I went to university. I got straight A's in my A-levels, which got me into University College London, where I studied law and got a 2-1 there. And I think because of my journey, that kind of led me to want to make sure that there was a platform available to young people to make sure that they always had career-related support on hand. That's why I set up the Student Development Company, and as a result of some of the work that I did there over the years, set up Career Ear, which enables young people to basically directly ask professionals career-related questions, so that every young person has people that they can turn to get advice, because that's something that I didn't have. When I was there, I, in my first year, went to a law fair, and it was there that I spoke to a woman called Charlotte from Mishcon and had a really good conversation with her, and she came across really down to earth and kind of really authentic and genuine. She just got me really excited about the firm, so from there I kind of started researching, and the more I found out about the firm, the more I really liked it. So it became one of my kind of top firms that I wanted to apply to. So by the time that I then was in a position to do my applications in second year for vacation schemes, it was kind of top of my list. And did that application, and fortunately obviously was successful in securing a vacation scheme placement and then a training contract. Since qualifying, I've qualified into the property disputes team, and my work is super varied, which means it keeps me on my toes. So property is a really wide area of law, quite geeky, quite technical, but it means that I could one minute be dealing with a landlord and tenant dispute, sometimes on commercial property, sometimes on residential property, could also be dealing with squatters, a dispute over a contract that's about property, so anything that's kind of an argument that relates to property, that kind of falls in my bag. So the first ever award that I won was back in 2015 with Precious Awards, and that was for Young Entrepreneur of the Year for setting up and running the Student Development Company. And that was an incredible experience because I'd never won an award of that kind before. And it was really cool to be recognised for setting up a business that is specifically in relation to helping young people. From there, I've then gone on to be recognised for my work in relation to the Student Development Company, Career Ear, and all of the diversity and inclusion work that I do outside of my day job. A few of those, Rising Star with We Are the City for my work in the legal sector, Top 100 Digital Awards for Career Ear for mobile innovation. I was a finalist in the Black British Business Awards in relation to the legal sector. I was highly commended in the UK Social Mobility Awards in 2017. This year I was in the Brummel magazine's Rising Stars, and I was also #1 in the Financial Times Future Leaders list for ethnic minority groups globally, and that was probably one of my proudest achievements. So I guess probably the lowest moment I had was probably at work. I just had taken on too much in terms of my workload, so was kind of effectively burnt out, and that meant that I was underperforming by my own standards, at least anyway, and super stressed, and at the same time had a bereavement in my family because my cousin passed away, and so that kind of then amplified the stress that I was under, and kind of the sense of feeling really low and in a really difficult place. How I overcame that, effectively did have a bit of a breakdown at work, so couldn't kind of handle what I had on my plate, but then sat down with my manager and spoke to him about it and had that conversation, so that they then effectively took away certain projects that I was working on and certain matters that I had, or added people onto those matters to help me. And I think that taught me the importance of really making sure that you're looking after yourself. Self-care is really important, particularly in the legal sector where it can be super intense, and just making sure that you're constantly having those communication channels open, that you feel comfortable speaking to your manager about your workload, and that you can have those conversations to make sure that you are looked after and that you're not reaching burnout stage, because that's a really difficult place to be in and something that no one should have to go through. So one of the biggest challenges with starting Career was that it's a mobile app and I have no technical expertise whatsoever. My background is legal, so I don't know how to code, and didn't understand anything about kind of the startup scene and the tech startup scene in particular. So it's been a really steep learning curve. I managed to find a developer who really believed in the mission and what we were trying to achieve in relation to kind of really revolutionising access to careers advice. And that was super helpful because it meant that I had someone that I can talk to who could explain certain things and help me kind of learn. And I also then surrounded myself with people in the space, so people who had founded startups, did have that kind of tech expertise and background, who I could kind of learn from as and when, either with going to them specifically to ask questions or just kind of having conversations with them where you pick up things. I've done a lot of reading and watching YouTube videos and things like that to pick things out, and just had to really kind of immerse myself in that space to learn as much as I can, and being a part of communities where I can not only learn from them, but I can kind of share things that I've learned over the years, either from my legal background or from kind of starting up side projects on the side. So I think not having the tech expertise has been probably the biggest challenge, but something that I'm overcoming day by day, even starting to learn how to code now, just so that I can understand the basics and have better and more intelligent conversations. So one of the best pieces of advice that I ever received was from a supervisor when I first started my training contract at Mishcon de Reya, and I kind of felt a bit of an imposter syndrome, wasn't kind of comfortable in my surroundings, just because of my background and just feeling that I didn't fit in, and he just told me to be myself, and I've really taken that on board and have since kind of really brought my whole self to work. So whether that's me talking to other partners in the firm about hip-hop music, or the kind of food that I eat as a Caribbean, or the music that I might listen to if it's Afrobeats, and just having those really genuine conversations with people at work and just being myself. So that's been kind of some really good advice that I've had. Some of the advice that I give to young people is ability is nothing without opportunity. So I really encourage young people to really seek out opportunities, whether that's kind of through building your network, and building your network doesn't have to mean going to networking events and networking. It could be as simple as reaching out to people on LinkedIn, connecting with people on Twitter even. You never know who you're going to speak to that might have an opportunity that you can take advantage of, and really thinking outside of the box as well, and thinking about how you might be able to create your own opportunities. And the final piece of advice that I would always give to a young person is that every setback can be a springboard for something greater if you want it to be. And so that's really probably coming to think about resilience and how we look at this concept of failure. And I think that everything that we do, even if it doesn't go the way that we want it to go, could be characterised as failure and can kind of take its toll on us, but it could also be characterised as something that enables us to learn from that experience and push on and be something much greater, do something much greater, achieve something much greater, and be greater.
Hi, thanks for watching. We hope you like it. Remember to like and share the video on Facebook, and go here for the Student Inspire Network YouTube channel, go there for the video that we made last week, and comment down below because we'd love to know what you think.